So a question that comes up from time to time is things that are related to title, maybe encroachments or maybe caveats or things that are on title. And there's a lot of like communities, say like downtown core areas of Winnipeg, where you can drive up to that property and you can see that there's going to be an encroachment. Like you've got eaves troughs that are overlapping each other and the houses are so close that you could hear somebody sneeze in the next one. What does that look like on a title, and what are you looking for when you're looking at that title?
So when there's obviously an encroachment, what I want to see is an encroachment agreement registered on the title, because that means that you're allowed to keep it that way.
Okay.
And usually, though, it's important to understand that you have obligations to repair it, and how are you going to access the part that's hanging over into the neighbor's yard, for example. The only way to know for sure if there is an encroachment would be to hire a Manitoba land surveyor. But often people don't have the time or the budget in our fast real estate market to do that. So title insurance does cover if something is unknown.
Okay. Yeah, and I think about that even with like brand new subdivisions. People are building fences and decks, and they're building, their sheds, and oftentimes there's a little dispute between neighbors as to where does this actually get built. So oftentimes you'll find that they'll try to build on their property, and then have an agreement. Maybe it's a verbal agreement, but what happens if somebody builds their shed on your property and it's encroaching? Like, what happens then?
It really depends on whether you discover it before you're the owner or while you're the owner.
Yeah.
But if it's one that's been on there before you became the owner and you purchased title insurance will usually help you negotiate with the neighbor an encroachment agreement that allows it to stay and covers things like whose expense it is, or if it burns down, you have to put it back in the proper place.
Okay.
But it's not uncommon, especially for things like garages. People build them and they measure the walls of the structure right on the very corner of the property, but they forget that the roof overhangs.
Yeah.
So it is very common.